Hi, everybody, and we're on board 439-20 this morning, named Soul Food. So we're going to do the delivery a little bit later on this afternoon. So this is my opportunity to get on board and show everybody around the boat. Uh, Soul Food is a 2024. It's our second 2024 model. If you saw the video of 21 last month, that was actually our first 2024. And we did launch them out of order because the owner of this boat wanted to hold her until after hurricane season. So here we are on board, obviously in the interior. They did a unique combination of gel coat. I'm not sure whether we've done it before, but it's not real common. They did the gray stone and the off-white exterior, which you'll see in the next video when we do a video of the exterior, but they did the ivory headliner and the ivory IGU or sole and settee bases and berth bases. So a lot of times people will do the off-white headliner and the gray stone sole or IGU when they do the greystone exterior, but these folks felt like they liked the gel coat color of the better with the sapele wood. So, you really are building, the kind of boat that you want, and it's like building basically a custom home. So, and then upholstery wise, they did the dark blue called Admiral. It is an ultra leather like all of our boats. And then the countertops are Sorrel, Sorrel. A little bit darker, but have a lot of nice color and contrast to them. And then when the light hits them, they have this kind of little sparkle effect, which is kind of cool. I personally like the countertops. Being a darker color, they are going to be a little bit higher maintenance because you can see the scratches and stuff easily on the darker colors. They did do the traditional island packet sink, so the stainless steel double sink with the smaller sink on one side and then the larger sink on the other. So, we offer all combinations on sinks from the Corian to the single stainless like we had in Annapolis to the double stainless like we have here. They did not do the microwave here. They chose to have extra counter space here and storage space, obviously not counter space, but extra storage space. And as you notice, we do have a light in the cabinet because the hull side lighting lights up the hull side cabinets. The extra shelf back here that we started doing a while back, they did choose the induction stovetop. So we do the 2-burner Kenyon induction stovetop. And then because they did not want a microwave down here, we actually did a smart oven, which does 4 in 1. It's a microwave, a convection oven, an air fryer, and and some other type of something. This is our first one of these that we've done, and this is actually the same smart oven that we'll be putting on the motor sailor that we're about a third of the way through building on the first motor sailor. They did choose to cover the dish storage here, so these doors are optional. If you don't do them, obviously it's open like this, and everybody has a preference on that. Obviously the standard refrigerator, the standard nice size garbage bin. We've doubled the size of the garbage bin from the legacy boats. And then usually where you see a washer dryer here, they have done the extra freezer, which obviously can be turned down and be an extra refrigerator. And then of course the standard freezer behind it. And then when you don't do the washer dryer, you do get this extra cabinet here above it, which is a nice, deep, actually relatively large storage area. Not real high, but certainly you can pack a lot of stuff that's 6 inches or less in there. Our standard shelf with the bunk rail, and then the bunk rail around and back. If we can go back here and so I'm going to sit here on the mainsail. We haven't gotten the mainsail up because the wind has been pretty strong this last week and from the wrong direction. We have started adding a shelf here for the 2024 model year for anybody who does not get a water maker. So if you get the water maker, you have water maker filters here, and obviously that makes the shelf unable to do. This does have a little bit of a lip on it here, so if you put stuff down here, it will certainly be held in place, as well as our shelf rail that we have here. And then we keep everything kind of where it's supposed to be with our canvas cover. We have for 2024 switched to the starboard seat for back here. This is a standard seat. It's not optional. It's meant so you can bring it out here and sit on it while you're changing one of your Raycors. The boat is standard with the dual Raycor system. This boat does have the optional fuel polishing system, and of course your generator filters here, and it does have the optional oil change system as well. Obviously the optional 6 kW Northern Lights generator. We have the main panel for that back here right next to the generator. This is the start on off switch for the generator battery. And then of course below the stool is where you find your shaft log access. And then this panel here opens up as well for storage. Not storage, excuse me, access to the back of the engine. This blue hose is our air, not blower, but suction. So we exhaust the engine room as far as heat, and particularly above the alternator, because it does produce a lot of heat, especially with the lithium batteries that this boat has. They chose 5 of the 200 amp hour lithium batteries, giving them a total of 1,000 lithium amp hours. Okay, you may not be able to see it in the video, but we do have kind of the Island Packet logo and star here on top of the seat, which is, just a nice little touch, I think. All right, more engine access on the side of the engine right here behind the door. Lots of storage to the galley, sink storage, under the sink storage, under that storage. We have shown you that in previous videos, but there's I defy you to find a sailboat of this size with any more storage than an Island Packet, as well as any more tankage. As we mentioned in the past, the boat does carry 160 gallons of fuel and 220 gallons worth of water, as well as a 12-gallon hot water heater, making the total 232 gallons of stored water on board. All right, this is a Yanmar 80 horsepower. She is turboed, and we have very, we love the Yanmar engines. These guys, I've had owners when I was a dealer in California. I sold boats that have 15,000 hours on them, and the engines still look good. They went through a good engine survey. So if you take care of this Yanmar engine, she'll go and go and go. We do provide a 170 amp Balmar alternator, and then of course this was the exhaust system that I was talking about earlier with the blue hose. Good access from obviously in front here with the self-supporting hydraulic pistons, and then access on both sides. These are solid wood stairs. We use a lot of solid woods in the boat. The only thing that is not solid wood are the cabinet faces and the bulkheads. And the reason we don't is because solid woods would actually have a tendency to warp, as we're a 5-ply marine grade veneer will not. It's much more stable by the way it's manufactured. So obviously solid wood doors, solid wood tables, solid wood trim. As we mentioned, solid wood stairs, solid wood floors. The floors are fitted together, one individual piece at a time. Solid wood grate. We do a lot of bilge lighting in our boats. This is designed to come up. This will trap and catch a lot of the stuff that comes down when people come down the stairway. And then, as we mentioned, we have lights throughout our bilge. So I'm not sure, how many manufacturers are doing that, but I've represented some pretty good boat manufacturers in my time, and I've never seen anybody else light up their bilge like that. So, down here we have our shower sump. You can notice that we label everything. Back in the day when I was a dealer going through surveys, we were always having to try to figure out what this pump or that pump is, or this through hole or that through hole is. And I'm very proud of the fact that we label everything that we can. You know, we label our sea strainers, we label our pumps, we label our valves. Uh, Literally, it's something that somebody could question a label on it. All right. So to port, we obviously have the guest cabin. It's a double berth, two queen size sheets on this berth, and then we have their cockpit cushions here. They did the standard set of cockpit cushions without the backs. The backs are in the package. The canvas color is smoke, so that's obviously to match the gray stone exterior. Uh, we use a handcraft mattress, a inner spring pillow top mattress, and then storage wise, you have the shelf locker here, so storage up and above, and then this side here, watch out here for the door. This is the hanging locker, and this is all the stuff that honestly comes standard with the boat. We actually give you wrenches to adjust your shaft log with, and then as well as your rudder log. So we give you 3 wrenches, and this is rudder, obviously. And then these are the standard hatch boards that come with every boat. Most people choose the cafe doors as well, but you know, you're to have cafe doors. If you don't, they stow here, and then if you use these, you can stow the cafe doors there. Obviously, all of our lockers are cedar lined. They are all louvered for ventilation. They all have the micro switch, so when you open the door, the light comes on. They all have soft latch buttons, so when you're at dock, you don't have to push the button in every time. The door will stay closed with what's called a soft latch. And then before you go to sea, you just push the button in, and then the door is securely latched. We did a while back switch to the magnetic door locks, which honestly I love, because in the past you used to have to reach down here and flip a little lever in order to release the door. All right, our aft head, the same sorrel countertops. We've got the stainless undermount sink, so same as what the legacy boats have. We've got storage above, we've got lighting there, and then we've got our shower here. You notice we have gone to really nice ports, friction hinges, so you can put them at any position you want, and then the chrome knobs. So unlike the plastic ones, these should last, hopefully, a long time. Our shower door, we upgraded the shower door style, both in type of shower door, type of material, the hinges we use, and then for that little special touch, we actually sandblast these ourselves with the wave pattern in the logo. You know, good ventilation in this aft head. We've got a hatch right above us here, right above the shower, and we've got a port actually in the shower too, so you get good ventilation. This is a vent from the salon air conditioning that does the salon as well as the aft head. Raritan signature toilets. They are freshwater and seawater, depending on whether you push freshwater or seawater on this switch. And then, of course, this switch operates like a normal electric head does. Drains throughout the floor for shower drain. The 2 captain's chairs, which are most of our boats now, are the 2 captain's chairs. The table does go up and down. There's 2 little levers here that you hit, and you can drop the table down, get it out of your way. Storage back here. So you've got storage in there, and you've got storage underneath there. I mean, the storage goes on and on and on. You got nice little storage area on top of the counter here. So this kind of becomes your nav station. When you bring the table up, you've got a place we've actually had owners put computer CPUs in there, put printers in there. This is another glove box. So you got his and hers glove boxes that do hold themselves open. So great little place to stash stuff. And then this is obviously the air conditioning return down there. And this is actually a disguised air conditioner return that we now put over the sink, over the safe. And then where it just takes 2 screws to get that off, and then you can get to the safe. So a really good way to hide the safe. We also do the door if you want. So you kind of choose whether you want to get into it, a little easier or not as easy, but I think well hidden. Nobody would ever guess there's a safe behind there. The standard settee pulls out, makes a double berth. The optional footstool with storage below. This one is obviously built out of wood. They did the single table, and with the wine glass holder, stemmed glass holder here, the tumblers here, and then the adjustable bottle storage. If you don't drink out of stemmed glasses, we would take this out and put another shelf right here, which would allow you more of the regular glass or tumbler glass storage. Obviously, they did the TV with K2 Marine Electronics, the people who do all of our electronics. Kevin does a really terrific job, and his work is just like Island Pack. It's basically impeccable. As you see, we did raise all the behind the settee storage cabinets to full height to give you more storage. All of our 110 volt outlets do have USB plugins as well. And of course, as always, you get storage behind the settee. You get storage below the settee. I mean, the storage that goes down about 3 foot. Hard to, that's a pretty good shot that we've got out of it there. And that's the same, throughout this settee. Like we said, we do have battery storage under here, but this area under this cushion is available. And then here is, of course, our filing cabinet where you can store your important ship documents. Cedar line bottom, so papers will smell good. We have breakers underneath the seat for the electrical, as far as the electric winches and the electric furlers, and then the engine ECU, or engine control unit. So, and then of course this boat has a separate engine battery switch because it does have the lithium house batteries. So when you do the lithium house batteries, we still use an AGM for the engine start, the generator start, as well as 2 forward for the bow thruster and the windlass. All right, forward, obviously we have a hanging locker here. This is an optional glove box that we can do. The last owner asked for it, and this owner asked for it, and of course now that it's been on a video, we have other people asking for it. It's a relatively inexpensive option, and honestly, if it becomes popular, we'll make it standard at some point. The Victron display is showing us that our battery is at 100%. Our fresh water is at 98%, and our holding tank is empty. We're actually getting some charge from our solar panels right now, 8 watts. We have very little AC load on the boat. And, then you can go through, individual pages. It's just really, a great display. We really, really like this, This thing goes on and on. It's such a great piece of equipment. Victron does a great job. All right, our forward cabin is pretty normal, but just for people who haven't seen it before, we do have storage underneath the forward berth. A great place for blankets. We put a couple of sail bags under here until they decide where they want to go. We do have our cedar line drawer. All of our drawers, by the way, are dovetail fit and finish. So Back in the day, they used to glue and screw them. Not to say there's anything wrong with that, but I don't know about you. I just think the dovetail fit and finish is just makes it just, shows that much more attention to detail. And speaking of attention to detail, if you look at all of our screws, bolts, and hardware that we use on the interior and exterior of the boat, first off, they're all 3/16. They're not 304 like in the past. Even our exterior deck hardware is 3/16. We use G10 as backup plates versus aluminum, because aluminum eventually you won't get the bolt back out. But they're all slotted exactly the same, all slotted exactly the same. And again, to me, that just shows attention to detail. A couple of the manufacturers I represented with, along with Island Packet, when I was a dealer, did that. And I really thought that was cool. So forward here, we have the shelf locker to starboard. We have another shelf locker here to port. And then we have most likely her hanging locker to port. Okay. Good size hanging locker that goes here. And then we now provide access underneath the hanging lockers. Some of it's for, access later on. If you have to ever change out one of those hoses, you'll be glad we did that. But honestly, I could probably stuff a couple pairs of shoes down there. I could stuff my clothes for the weekend down there. I mean, all I need is a t-shirt and a bathing suit, right? A pair of sandals. I can get every bit of that down there. I like our light switches. They are fully adjustable up and down as far as light. They turn off. When you turn them off, they glow at night, so you can quickly find them. We have one for the overhead in this stateroom, and then we have one for the side lights. If you dim the side lights down low, it really becomes nice at night, because it gives you just enough ambient light to be able to get around and see. And then, of course, when you turn them back up, it's kind of nice illuminating the whole sides. Lots of good, high quality touch lights throughout the boat to give you good lighting. We're all about lighting. Again, the magnetic door locks make it quick, easy. We have our forward head. Obviously, our stall shower. They went with the undermount stainless sink. The same sorrel countertops. We have a light underneath the countertop here, provide good lighting. And then we have the normal vanity or cabinet here, and then the mirror. They did choose the dry locker here, which forward you can do right here. You can do either a wet locker or dry locker. When you do the dry locker, you get a shelf. Let me get out of Scott's way so he can show you that. So, and obviously there's no louvers in the doors. If we do the, probably barrel boat on top and bottom there, Scott. There we go. So, for me, that's a good place for towels, maybe some larger, bathroom objects. And then, of course, you've got this little cubby up here for smaller stuff. And then, of course, all, growy faucets. You're going to want to close the other one first. Okay. So, we have a nice mirror behind the door. Ladies like this mirror. We have a trash bin here for the garbage. And let's see. There we go. And then a couple of drawers, small drawers for items, most likely ladies' items. This is a supply or a vent for the forward air conditioner heater. So the forward unit that we mount for the forward cabin underneath this berth does do the forward cabin as well as the forward head. It is a 7,000 BTU Maybrew 12-volt unit. So we like doing 12-volt units in the staterooms because it allows you not to obviously run the generator when you're sleeping. All right. We're going to wrap up the interior video there, and then we're going to go up to the deck and show you around the deck. Thank you for watching, and God bless.